Over the next few minutes, we will show you how to create recurring entries in Accounts Payable. We can use recurring payables to configure and create transactions that are repetitive or cyclical in nature. You can save a transaction as recurring, which allows you to reuse it without having to re-enter the transaction details every time. This saves you time when entering data and avoids errors in the transactions. For example, if you pay the same amount of rent every month, it will be more efficient to create a recurring payable for the rent. The frequency in which the recurring entry happens is determined by the associated schedule code. The schedule codes are set up in Common Services. The process for setting up recurring invoices includes two steps. First, we need to set up the schedule code in Common Services. Then we configure the recurring payables. Let's see how to set up a recurring entry. For our example, we'll set up a monthly invoice for rent that is always dated the first of the month. First, let's set up the schedule code. In Common Services, we open Scheduling and select Schedules. The first schedule available is for monthly transactions. The schedule code and description give us an indication of what the schedule is for. We can set reminders for the schedule code. No user means no reminders will be sent. A specific user lets you choose one user to be reminded. All users send a reminder to all users. We'll select all users. We want the reminder 3 days in advance, starting from July 1st, 2020. The recurring period is monthly and it occurs every month on the first of the month. Let's save the schedule code. You will click Add if adding a new code. Now that the schedule code has been set up, we can add the recurring transaction. Go to Accounts Payable, AP Vendors, and select Recurring Payables. We enter the recurring payable code, enter a description, and select the vendor. Select the schedule code and enter the start date. In the expiration type, we can specify if the recurring payable is to expire. For our example, we'll set it to a specific number of invoices, assuming we have a contract for 1 year for the rent. Verify and modify if needed the other fields displayed in this tab. In the Detail tab, we enter the details for the entry. Let's delete the default line showing, as this transaction is not for inventory. Then, add the distribution code for the rent and enter the amount of the rent. After you have entered all the details, add the entry. This recurring payable is now set up and ready for processing. Now please pause this video and open the document with the exercises. This document can be found in your learning package on Sage University. In order to practice creating a recurring entry, complete exercise 7 from the Invoices lesson. Were you able to create the entry? Congratulations! You now know how to create recurring transactions in Accounts Payable.